What up, TikTok? What's going on? What up? What up? What up? What up? YouTube coming in. Uh let us see, man. Okay. I guess we could start it.
You think you know about relationships, but you're wrong. Listen, there's no magic bullet. I'm teaching life skills.
When you sick, you need medicine. It don't always taste good. Nah. But it'll get you better. You need this medicine. It ain't gonna always taste good. But this is what you need.
I'm in the movie
Men
fighting.
and women,
Absolutely.
bottom line, we need to have the conversation.
What up, DJ Mike?
Your partner wants to give up control, but only if you know how to drive. This is about being the best you could ever be, whoever you are. I don't care if you're a man, a woman, LGBTQ, space alien. I'll save anybody. I don't care. I'll teach a hedgehog how to have a threesome.
What do you mean by that?
Look, you don't have to listen to me, but you're wrong.
Listen, I know I'm great. And I know you're thinking, Dante, there's no way I could be like you. But you could be me, you know why?
Because you know who I was? Before I was me, I was you.
Man, score 202.
Better hear what I've got to say because you won't get it again.
I'm not an alpha male. I'm not a beta male either. I'm just a better man. Better man. Well, put your happiness first, because if you don't, they won't.
Yo, what up? CYBB, get your balls back. WWDD, What Would Dante Do? The Sexual Revolution is being podcasted. And I am excited. What's going on, y'all? It's good to be here. Good to be here. Happy Sunday. I had a good Saturday, man. I did some regular stuff. So I went to see my boy DJ Pleasure, aka Kelly Andre. His release album, so it was cool out there, and it's always a situation where I'm I'm learning things from as I'm living, I'm learning. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Dwight Christian, Jay Hoss Barnes. You played yourself. Diogenes, Goatman, all the people in TikTok. We streaming on everything, mostly everything. So I'm just waiting for everybody to get in. If y'all get if y'all hear me in the chat, please on YouTube and whatever, please give me a thumbs up. Just make sure the sound is good. That we're good with the sound. I want y'all to be able to hear me. I want y'all to hear me. Yes, TikTok, I do travel for comedy. I'm working on my website. As soon as my website's up, then y'all can come see me live. It'll be an experience. All right, thanks, Christian. I appreciate you. But I want to get into TikTok. Thank you. Also, if y'all want to call in, don't forget, I'm gonna put the number up in a second. In uno momento. The Cash App is down on the bottom. So if y'all want to Cash App me, please send me some money. The number is 929-269-4922. If y'all want to call in, it's 929-269-4922. If you want to call in, if you got a question, relationship based is what this show is about. This is the second time I'm actually streaming on TikTok as well simultaneously. But yeah, so I went out and I realized something that's interesting. My boy had a great show, but he had there was a little difficulty because he had a band that he hired, and in the band that he hired, you realize how ego is prevalent. First of all, this is his album. This is his what do you call it? Well, his I guess you would call it man. I guess it was it would I guess he hired a band to cover him, and then the drummer in the band was overplaying, playing extra loud, that you couldn't hear the guy, you couldn't hear my boy sing. And this is what happens a lot of times when you realize that you're trying to do things for people, you're trying to give people an opportunity, and then because of their own ego, they're willing to sabotage you. And I'm going to talk about something. I mean, on TikTok, y'all can check out my TikTok too, because I did the Cinnabon. I did part 1, 2, and 3 of the Cinnabon story, and so everybody was begging for that. But this is it's a similar thing. So the guy was playing the drums, but he was playing the drums so loud that you couldn't hear the vocals. And to be honest, nobody is if you go to a release party, nobody's going to see the fat drummer play too loud. It's just nobody goes, yo, I'm going to the album release party, but I'm going to see I'm going to see the fat drummer play overly loud so I can't hear the vocals. But this is what happens when people are when this is what happens when insecurity, when there's insecurity, when there's a lack of credibility, when all of these things are in play, you act in ways that are just bitch made. I mean, I don't know how to put it in any other way. It's just straight up bitch made. So I called my boy afterwards, and I was like, man, we couldn't. I actually went to the board and was like, yo, you gotta turn the band down. I can't even hear my man. They're there because of his album. And I'm often disappointed. I'm often disappointed about people that I'm friends with, put that in quotes, or people that I consider friends. Also, there's a situation where there's no significance to my skull and cross. This is just what I like, just stylistically. It's just my style. But the reality is that I'm often disappointed by how bitch made people are. But then I'm also a lot more understanding about what creates that. Like, if you don't have any self-esteem, if you've been told that you're not worthy, if your parents have told you, or your mama told you, or your daddy told you, or even if they didn't say it, if they just didn't give you the nurturing as a child so that you have some level of confidence that you're important, to somebody, what happens more than anything is that you end up being in a situation where you act like a punk. You do punk stuff. And I realize that I'm becoming, as much aggravated I am about how many people that I actually consider peers are just bitch made, or reacting to situations and don't have self-awareness. As much as that is the case, I'm also becoming more tolerant of it, because I realize that the norm of people is to act like punks, to backbite and shit on people and treat people like trash. And a lot of times you get a situation where, you'll even be in situations where you're approaching a girl, and because she perceives you as of lesser value, she will be disrespectful in a way, because of the fact that because she ultimately has low self-esteem herself. And so, let me treat this guy like trash because somehow it's going to make me feel better. But when all of that is said and done and the time passed, you still ain't shit. You've taken somebody who's weaker than you. You've taken somebody who is maybe has even less self-esteem than you, and you treated them like trash. And now you feel good about it because you won up somebody who didn't have no self-esteem in the first place. And somehow you feel, but when all is said and done, when you're by yourself, and I always use the analogy, it's when the ceiling fan is spinning and the shadow of the ceiling fan is is whipping across your face, you know you still ain't shit. There's no way escaping that. And so there's two questions of that. So then why do it? Or how can I not feel like shit? How can I build my self-esteem? And what I realized more than anything is that your value as a human being is what you do. It's how you approach life every day, how you approach life in a way that makes people go, hey, this is a guy it's not even this is a guy, but you believe that you have done the work. And because you've done the work, you have the confidence, because somebody can't tell you that you ain't shit if you're actually doing the work. If somebody says, I will bust you in the nose, and you have been boxing, going to a boxing gym every 5 days a week, doing sparring, doing your road work, practicing your craft. When somebody says that, you don't have the fear that you would normally have, because of the fact that you don't know what threat they propose, or what threat that there's somebody puts against you, but you do know where you're at. You know what you're capable of. And that's super important, because when you know what you're capable of doing, that's where the confidence comes from. And I've been thinking about this for a long time. It's like, how come some people are confident and other people are not? It's because the people that are not, they're not practicing confidence, if that makes sense. They're not moving in ways that challenges what their insecurities are so that they can be better people. And when you do that, you just have a confidence that other people can't take away, because the truth is the truth. It is what it is. Now, even if you go into this boxing, you can still get your butt kicked. Absolutely. But you know that you're prepared. And you know how good you are and good you're not. So what's interesting is that we got to do, it's this idle time that we spend watching other people that make us a person who is insecure, because we haven't done anything. If you're overweight, you ain't dieting. You ain't working out. If you're not that smart and you don't feel smart around people, you're not reading. If you're not social with women, it's because you don't talk to people. If you're not interesting, it's because you don't do interesting things. Every insecurity that you have is directly connected to your laziness and your inability to put yourself out there and explore. Find out whether or not you're good enough for winning. And even if you're not great at something, you're still going to be better if you engage in it. Often I get guys who do consultations, and don't forget the consultations, one-on-one consultations at DanteNero.com. Click on consult and you can get me. It's up on the screen right now. But often I get guys who have not active, they're ashamed of their inability to socialize, to talk to women, to deal in social situations, and so they lash out. This is why this whole red pill incel thing, it's their inability to talk to women. They're not interesting enough, they're not attractive, but they're not the best version of themselves, and so they move into that realm with a fear of the fact that they ain't worth it. They're not worthy. And if you're going to do that, you're going to feel insecure. If you haven't put the work in, you're going to feel insecure. Guaranteed. And there's nothing that's going to change that except rolling up your sleeves and getting busy. Let's be honest. What else are you doing? Watching Netflix? Playing video games? And I'm not knocking video games, because if you want to make video games a business. I mean, there's dudes that are making hundreds of thousands of dollars playing video games. But even that is a dedication to an intentful outcome. I was watching the World Series, Red Bull World Series of Mortal Kombat. It's crazy, insane. Arenas of people watching other people play video games. Gamers, it's insane. It's a whole world that I would not even I don't even propose to understand. But my point is, even that it's an intentful action. So I really come across the fact that this whole situation was just blatantly. I mean, the guy's a good drummer. Guy was a great drummer, but he just couldn't stay in his lane. He just wanted to take somebody else's shine. Wanted to get his pound of, I wouldn't say pound of flesh, but it was just get his ego fulfilled in those few minutes. So he's doing solos in the middle of a ballad. It was crazy. But I realize I realize that as I grow older and I become more mature and I deal with my own ego issues. I find that I'm becoming more tolerant because I realize how difficult it is to be the best version of yourself, and that people are lazy. They just don't want to do it. And some people don't even I can't even tell you how many times I've had people do consultations or send me messages. How do you build confidence? And the way you build confidence is by doing. You have to do something. You have to take some kind of action. If you don't know how to talk to women, you got to talk to women. And trust me, you're going to suck at it. I promise you, you will suck at it in the beginning. I promise you that. But if you keep doing it, you won't. And how awesome is that you can, I mean, it's not even like a gamble. Like a gamble, you could put your money down and lose everything. It's not even, I guarantee you, if you practice, you will be better. The only real question is, how much better will you be? That's the question. That's the exciting part. So, and I realize how people internalize their own. I had a good friend of mine yesterday argue with me, told me the only reason why I read books is because I want to be right. That was his critique of me. That I read books to feed my ego because I don't want to be wrong. He should get a book about books. He should get a book about books. He should read a book on books. Isn't that the point? The reason why we read books is to gain knowledge so that we can be right. He said that to me like it was a revelation. The only reason why you read books is because you want to be right. Yeah. I want to be smarter. I want to be better. I want to be stronger. I want to be more flexible. I want to be more empathetic. I want to be more social. I want to be kinder. I want to be more forgiving. I want to be all of those things. And being all of those things does what? All of those things that I perceive as good builds my self-esteem. I want to be more authentic. I want to be more credible. I want to be more empathetic. All of those things make me better. Good friend of mine. I mean, he was angry, whatever. He was in his feelings or whatever. But the bottom line is, he doesn't understand how much I don't give a shit what he thinks about me. And not because he's not a reputable person, because nobody knows me better than me. Trust me. I know what my shortcomings are. I know what I don't do well. I know what I'm working on every single day. Somebody who speaks to me on the phone or is a friend some of the time, he's going to tell me about me. How the audacity to think that you know me better than then I know me. Now, don't get me wrong. I've been doing this show for years, and guys call in and they're not aware of themselves. I get that. That's what the show is about. The show is about me teaching you how to look at you, figure out where the flaws are, how you can fix the broken things so that you can make yourself a better life. That's what it's about. Whatever that is. If it's being social with women, if it's showing up, if it's being honest, if it's being righteous and being credible, if it's any of those things, that's what I'm trying to show you do. It's a really, honestly, I'm out of my mind because it's a shitty business model. Because I'm basically trying to teach y'all how to eliminate me from your life. There's no backup plan. I want you to get to the point where what I have to say doesn't matter. Because you know it, but you know you better than I know you. How awesome is that? It's dumb on my part. Trust me. It's ridiculous that I have a business that's meant to get to the point where you don't need me. It's crazy. It's insane. Let me see. Simply Deep asked me a question. Let me put this up real quick. Also, y'all know the phone lines is up. So it is. The phone lines on the bottom. I think it's on the bottom. Is it not? Did I not put the phone lines on the bottom? Did I make that mistake? If not, I gotta fix that. Wow, I'm gonna have to do that on the fly. Simply Deep says Mansco's question. Yeah, the phone line was on the bottom. Mansco 202 question: can a woman or your woman go overboard seducing you, depending on the circumstances? I guess there's no. I mean, you have to decide. I mean, who's to say what overboard is? Who? I mean, if it's overboard when you're uncomfortable. The problem is if it makes you uncomfortable, do you have the ability to say I'm uncomfortable? Or are you so worried that you won't be honest that you won't say something? You'll just be uncomfortable for no reason. Just allow somebody to put you in a situation where, and what's crazy about this is the assumption, the reason why you don't talk about anything is because what you're saying in essence is, if I show this person who I really am, they probably won't think I'm good enough. How do you fix that? How do you fix that thought in the back of your head? I'm afraid to be my true self, because if I show that I'm being my true self, then I'm not going to be good enough. She's going to leave. She's going to stop having sex with me. You know how you find that out? You got to be a good person. You got to be the person. And I'm not the person that decides what good is or good. You do. You have a moral compass inside of you you know what the best version of yourself looks like. You know what that guy does. You know what that guy eats for breakfast. You know how many hours he spends in the gym. You know how much. You know that already. I don't even know it, how you perceive it. But I'm saying that if you can move to be your ideal self, your personal self, I guarantee you will have a different level of confidence. So you decide what's overdoing it. I don't know what that is. Overdoing it is to me, in some situations, has been, well, bring your mama. She want to get the hell. It all depends. I'm making light of it, but yeah, you want your mama to get down? Okay. And I'm joking, or am I? But my point being is, I decide what those standards are. And if I decide what those standards are, man, that's all that matters. J.O.H. Barnes says, I have a problem with the 5 bricks where I find myself excited. It's been 5 months every day. It's good in certain scenarios, but I'm finding I can't get enough for my appetite. I'm not sure what you mean enough by your appetite. Let me say this. There's no way that you can be doing this right, laying the 5 bricks correctly, and it not have affected your ability to manage your anxiety. The whole purpose of laying the 5 bricks is to manage your anxiety so that you can be the truer self that you are, the best version of yourself. There's no way that you could be doing the same thing over and over and over again and not feel confident, or at least remove unless you're not doing it correctly. So what I would say is, let me just say this is, you're doing something wrong. I don't know what that is. Book a session, one-on-one consultation at DanteNero.com, click on consult, and then we can pick it apart. I can ask you questions, but there's no way that you're doing it. It's an impossibility that you could be laying the 5 bricks for 5 months correctly in the way that I'm telling you to do it, and it not have affected the level of anxiety and the fear that you have to talk to women on a day-to-day basis. Impossibility. Is the phone lines open? Let me, you know what? I'm going to try something different this time, because I'm always wondering if the numbers, The Wired Christian, I know you in the chat. Call on the line. I want to say hi. Let me just see. I want to see if the lines are working. I need you to call in and then tell me that you called in. Make sure that the lines are working. I want to make sure. The Wired Christian, call in, please. I'm waiting for your call right now. You know the number, 929-269-4922. Y'all are part of the family. Y'all are in this chat every day, so I'm gonna treat y'all like my team. Because without you guys, you support this platform and you support me, and this is how I'm able to do it. This is how I'm able to continue this. So the Wired Christian, please call in. You know the number, 929-269. My man. Let's see. Rang. Let's see what happens.
To accept, press 1. To send a voice.
Christian, what's up?
Howdy, hi there, friends and neighbors.
What's going on, brother? How are you?
Just sitting and chilling, working.
Okay. All right. I thank you for calling. I appreciate you. I appreciate you calling in, and thank you, brother. Thanks for your support. All right. I got another call. I'm gonna grab this. I appreciate, man. Thanks for all your support and everything. Okay.
All right, hang up, man. Go, go, go.
All right, later. Let me see if this will work. Get this next one. We'll see if this comes. I've been trying to do this. Doesn't always do it the way I wanted to do it. Maybe it will. No, I don't think so. No. Call in. Phone lines are open, y'all. Phone lines are open. Call back in. Thank you, Christian. I appreciate you calling in. Thanks to everybody that's on TikTok watching it live as well. So, I mean, there's phone lines are open for any let's see. You played yourself as a question here. Faye's Sensor was dating Janet Garcia, the hottest Mexican weather girl, and then he dumped her to focus on video games. I guess. I don't know why he would have to dump her to focus on video games, but I mean, who am I to say? I mean, it depends on where your priority is. Manhattan Beats. I'm here from Godfrey Podcast. I appreciate the wisdom and intelligence. Thank you, Manhattan Beats. I appreciate you. He says, I'm currently reading Surrounded by Idiots by Thomas. I'm gonna check that out. I'll check that out. Surrounded by Idiots. It's an interesting introspective on idiots, I guess. We got a call. Let me get this. Man, I wish this could work faster. I think I'm gonna have to get another computer, but I can't do that unless y'all send me some money. Cash App is up. Hello, hello, where you calling from, family?
I'm from Portland, Oregon.
What's your name, brother?
My name's Nate.
Nate, what's going on, brother? How are you? How can I help you?
Well, Uh, I was raised really religious, and then I went into meditation. That really helped me a lot with my life.
Okay.
I think my thing is with in general, like putting myself out there again with women and stuff, but I don't want to in a way because I'm aware now of that what the energy it takes to do that. You know what I mean?
What
And
energy do you think it takes? What is your?
it just
Well, I guess what I'm asking is, what is your perception of what this is going to take?
well, it's going to take me putting in time and that person and effort.
Go ahead, get in your car so we can talk.
Simple question. Hello?
And you got to turn the radio
I
off.
can't hear you.
Turn the radio off,
Gotta
family.
turn the radio off. Turn the radio off.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Sorry about that.
So you're saying what it take? What do you mean by the time and the effort it takes?
It just feels like it's too much now. It feels like it takes away from myself.
In what way?
I,
In what way does it take away from yourself?
I don't know how to explain it.
Well, you do. You know what you're feeling. I just need you to tell me what you're feeling.
It just for me it takes a lot of effort and it kind of puts a lot of stress on me, so I get stressed out about it.
Well, let me ask you something. What do you do? What is there anything that you do in life that you're not good at, that you're not comfortable doing, that doesn't put stress on you?
I think what Dante, right? So
Yeah.
I think what happened to me is that I got really sick from COVID 2 years ago. I got really sick, and then that put me it forced an awakening in me. So I went into meditation and everything, and I got out of my religion, and I think that when I put a lot of focus on a person, it tends to stress my symptoms up. It like flares me up a little bit.
You mean
So
in terms of your anxiety?
No, it's like it's weird now. It's like I have like a muscle weakness and like vertigo, and then when I get like stress, so anxiety, you would say, right? Kind of like that,
Yeah.
but it's not like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So here's my question. I get. Okay. I wasn't. I mean, you didn't allude to this physical condition, right? But my question.
Right.
Here's my question again. I need you to answer this question. Okay. So listen to what I'm asking you. In what situation is there something that you are not proficient at and haven't done regularly that you don't have anxiety about?
I will just say talking to women and feeling the fear of rejection.
You're not listening. You're not listening to the question. What other than talk? Yes, I understand that talking to women gives you that anxiety. What I'm saying, in your life, what else would you be doing that you're not proficient at that you wouldn't give you anxiety? Isn't it? Well, I guess what I'm saying to you in essence is anything that you do that you're not comfortable doing and that you're not proficient is going to bring up anxiety. Yes?
Yes, you're correct.
Okay, so my question is, you gotta, and I totally get that, because I'm not in your body. I don't know what you're feeling. I don't know the pain that you're feeling. I don't know the anxiety, the vertigo, all of that, right? But what I do know is are you willing? Here's the question: when you boil this down, right? The question is, are you willing to never try something else new because you might have anxiety?
No, I love trying. It's that's the thing that's changed more now about me. It's more like I'm more calm because of the practice that I got through Buddhism. The practice, it really calmed my system.
So you switched over to Buddhism and but I'm quite sure when you first started meditating, it's not easy. One of the things that was really difficult for me. I mean, I've dabbled in Buddhism and stuff. I mean, I probably dabbled in everything, but what I'm saying, it's not an easy thing. Would you agree with this? That it's not an easy thing to empty your mind and just be in your place, right? That's
Right, you're
not
right. That took me 2 years. That took me
okay.
2 years to get there. To get where I'm
Okay,
at.
so
Yeah.
my point is, the only way that you got comfortable doing it was doing it, right?
Practice.
And you had to deal with the anxiety of not being able to do it, right? Even when it came to meditation, right?
Yeah, it was really bad. I was real sick, man.
Okay, so but I'm saying even in the sickness, you had to get to a point where you were able to overcome the anxiety, even when it came to meditation and getting out of your religion, getting out of that thing, that kind of cultish mentality or whatever you want to call it. I don't want to label it in a way that's offensive, but what I'm saying is there's nothing that you're going to do new that you're going to be good at when you first start out. And if anxiety affects your condition, that's something that you're going to have to deal with. But ultimately, the choice is yours, that you have to decide, are you going to sit still and just allow your anxiety to put you in a prison where you don't try anything new?
Oh, no. That's what I wanted to tell you. That's what changed about me. I still have the issue of the rejection part of me because I've gained some weight over this condition.
Right.
And that's giving me like this insecurity about even is that woman going to be attracted to me and this and that. So I kind of hesitate on that.
Let me say something. Are you laying the 5 bricks? Do you lay the 5 bricks?
I don't know what that is.
Okay.
Elaborate.
All right. So I'm gonna put this up. Eventually, you're gonna have to book a session with me, but I will give you the background of it, because it seems like if you need to book a consultation with me, right? You go to DanteNero.com and click on consult, and you can book a consultation with me. But I'll explain to you what it is. It is a process in which you put yourself in a social situation. You pay 5 women a compliment every day, women of every ilk, older, younger, fat, skinny, attractive, not attractive. You pay them an honest compliment, right?
Okay.
You pay them an honest compliment 5 times a day, every day, and then you the compliment has to not be sexual and it has to be honest.
Yeah, authentic, correct.
And that's just the first step. I mean, there's many layers and nuances, but what it does, it's just like when you first started meditating. You sit down in a quiet room, you sit in a comfortable place, and you meditate. And initially, there's thoughts that come into your mind, and the simple fact that you're starting to fight those thoughts out to kind of keep your mind pure is the thing that makes it more difficult. But the only way you do that is through the repetition. You have to go through the anxiety. Now, I'm not telling you, because I don't know what your physical condition, and it really is not the point. The point is, do you want to expand your horizons to where you can do more? Where in your life you can be fulfilling in your life. And if you're going to do that, you have to make up your mind that you are going to deal with the anguish and the pain and the anxiety and the rejection and deal with those things until we get past it.
Yes, you're right about that.
At my best, when I power lifted, right? At my best squat ever was 930 pounds squat.
Oh, man.
There's no way. I didn't start out doing 900 pounds. I started out I was doing 225 and then 3 plates, then 4 plates, then 5 plates. I remember even when I was doing 5 plates, I couldn't believe that I was doing 5 plates. Yeah, but my understanding of how far I could go I was like, here, I would have never even thought it would just be ridiculous to think that you could squat 6 plates, right? That was to me, what I thought was and then when I got there, it happened. I mean, it didn't always happen. It wasn't always easy. It was always painful. It was always fear. It was always anxiety, but I kept going, and I went to at the best was 900, actually 935 was my best squat.
Man.
But the only way you get there is you got to get under the rack and lift it.
Yeah.
And so I understand. Yeah. So if you don't think it's worth it to have companionship and to find somebody who loves you and you love them and that you can express yourself in a real human way, if you don't think that that's important, there's nothing I can do about that. I can't convince you that. But what I can convince you is show you an analogy where your meditation has
it's really helped me.
It's
man.
helped you in ways,
my life.
And it
changed my life.
And it wasn't easy to do, right?
Not at the start, no.
And so what I'm saying that's the philosophy of everything. Nothing is easy to do at the start, but you don't reap the benefit unless you make the sacrifice and you put yourself in. And if you put yourself in, you'd be surprised at how important that is to you. You make sense?
That does make sense.
So look, I put up you can go to DanteNero.com. You can click and consult. I mean, there's definitely some things I could tell already that is insecurity, and there's things that's going in the fact that you were so ultra religious that you literally had to get out of it, which is a red flag to me. We need to talk, man.
It was difficult, man. Yeah. I was going to be a priest and everything. I was going to be a priest.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
It's going to be difficult. It's difficult.
Yeah,
I'm still going back and forth.
Yeah, I don't know if you know my content, but I profess I'm an atheist. I don't believe religion. I don't believe in and it's not that I don't think that there could be. I haven't had any evidence to say to me that I should believe this. And as a black man in America, I can't believe that there would be a God and not just a black man. I can't believe that there would be a God that could intervene in life and would allow children to grow up to be born with AIDS or with terminal or born deformed or something. There's no way you could tell me that there's a God and he would allow chattel slavery in America and stand by and watch the abuse of people or the Holocaust. And then you tell me, well, it's just God works in mysterious ways. Just doesn't make sense to me, you know?
Now, just to let you know, so when I left, I healed all my issues and anxiety issues, all that stuff, right? I'm more calm when I went into Buddhism. And then when I go back to my religion now, it feels uncomfortable. I feel the desperate energy in there now, and I have to leave. It doesn't feel the same anymore.
Right, because you're seeing the contradictions and you're not comfortable.
Yeah.
So at least you have a foundation that you've tapped into a real honest place, which makes it you're an easy fix, Matt. You understand? You're an easy fix. The simple fact that you're aware of these emotions makes you an easy fix. Okay, so you got me. DanteNero.com. Click on consult, man. Book something with me. I can definitely help you, bro. There's no doubt in my mind that I can help you. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, Matt. Thank you, man. Thanks for calling in. Thanks for sharing. Yeah. None of this. Nothing is going to be easy. Nothing at the first time is going to be easy, nor are you going to be good at it. Trust me, you're going to suck. We all suck. I did judo for 2 years, right? And I had martial arts background, but I never did judo. Do you know them judo boys? Shout out to Higashi Buddhist temple on Riverside Drive. Them judo guys whooped my ass for 2 years. Well, for a year and 6 months. I started figuring, but they choked me out, bent my arms up, twisted my neck, choked me, put me to sleep. For a year and a half, I got my ass beat. But you learn. There's no way you can, and this is the thing I always talk about. The analogy of laying the 5 bricks comes from an analogy that I made on one of the shows, which was if you go outside, you lay 5 bricks a day, every day, right? You will end up with a wall in the backyard that is 1,825 bricks high, and that brick wall, the bricks on the bottom,
Aaron.
I promise you, will be better at the top than at the bottom, simply because of practice. What's your name? Where you calling from, family?
What's up, Dante? This is Aaron from California, brother.
What's going on, Aaron? How are you, man?
Good, brother. Check this out. So
let me say something first. I'm already feeling your energy, bro. I feel like you're in a real positive place. Is my perception, my perceptions correct?
You are correct, because I'm a fan of you, and rest in peace to Patrice O'Neal.
No doubt.
I could probably talk to you for a while, man, but I got to go to New York or wherever you're at and meet you and, just dab you up, man.
Let's talk about what you call for today. Let's get to that.
So check this out. I've been dating this girl for about 3 weeks now.
Okay.
Going into 4 weeks, we met at work. Now, I know they say don't shit where you eat, but I couldn't help myself.
Well,
now,
let me say this. If there's a 24-hour day, right, and we spend 8 hours working, right, 8 hours sleeping, right, and 8 hours either traveling from or to the work, eating, showering, shitting, sleeping, like everything in between that. We spend more of our life working than we do anything else. So I don't see how people can work together for 8 hours, 40 hours a week and not have some kind of social dynamic. So I have a disagreement of that. But yeah, it can get messy, but I think if you're righteous, you can maintain the soundness of your relationship. But okay, so you've been dating her for 3.5, going on 4 weeks, and what's up?
So when I first wanted to pursue her, she was like, "Nah, I'm good. I'm not ready." I backed off. It's all good. She finally came around. I said, "Cool, let's go eat." We went to Cheesecake Factory. We hit it off. Now, mind you, she has some, let's just say, mental health issues. She's on medication for, let's just say, bipolar, right?
Okay.
And I'm cool with that. Nobody's perfect. We all got our things that we got to deal with. I'm into the homeopathic. I box. You know what I mean? I do a bunch of stuff for my mental health. But this one night we were hanging out and she popped something in her mouth. And I'm like, "Oh, what is that?" And she's like, "What do you mean, what is that? This is my medication." And she's like, "Why are you coming at me sideways?" And I was like, "I was just asking." And she's like, "I don't feel supported." And that really just threw me for a loop.
Okay.
And I was like,
all right, so let's start with that first. I mean, we may go deeper, but we may not need to go deeper. She said prerequisite, right? I am bipolar. Do you know what that means? Did you Google that? Did you look into what it means to be bipolar and how it manifests itself?
Split personalities.
Exactly.
Maybe feeling one day. Yeah.
So let me ask you this. Her response to that, how far off is that from that kind of behavior? How far off is that from being bipolar?
Honestly, it's been great.
No. I'm saying her response about that and her off the wall response. I don't feel supported. Blah blah blah. Whatever. Right.
Mm-hmm.
How on brand is it that she says she's bipolar and for her to freak out like that?
Pretty on point. Yeah.
Okay. So here's my question. You said nobody's perfect. You said that she's bipolar. Then the fact that you're even talking about this and surprised about the fact that somebody said that she's bipolar, and then when she starts acting bipolarish, right? I don't understand what your surprise is.
Maybe because I didn't want to believe it. I'm not too, I really don't know about these mental health things. You know what I mean?
I got it. But if you, here's the thing: you like this girl. She told you she has a condition. She told you she takes medication. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with you going, what did you just take? Right. But what I'm saying, when she responds to you in a bipolar-esque way and flies off the handle emotionally, right?
Don't be surprised.
I don't know why you would be surprised. If you're dating a hoe and you come home and she's sucking your daddy's dick, right? And he says, well, I had $20. I don't see how you could be upset about that.
You're absolutely correct. Yeah.
So what I'm saying is you initially said everybody got problems and this, and yeah, everybody does have problems. The question is, do you want to put up with those problems? I hear this all the time. I hear this with red pill dudes and all kinds of people, crazy people. And they're on a red pill and all the incel dudes. And they be like, yo, never date a woman with kids. Don't made a single mother, blah, blah, blah. I don't, here's the one thing I don't do. I don't have people, I don't tell people what to do. If you notice that what I will say is, I'll be honest with you. The fact that you're surprised about this when she told you says more about her than it says about you. She said it to you. Okay. She said, I'm bipolar. This is what I'm on medication. Your response to that was nobody's perfect. And I agree, nobody is perfect. The question is, do you want to put up with somebody who at some point in time in the course of the relationship, no matter how good the relationship, no matter that you make all the right decisions, are you willing to deal with bipolar as in the practical sense? And if you're not, you got to leave her alone. And if you are okay with it, then when it pops up, don't be surprised and figure out ways to de-escalate those situations.
Yeah.
But you got to decide whether or not she's worth what you're gonna have to put up with. And that's not for me to say. I'm not judging you if you decide this is not what you want to do. I'm not judging you if you say she's worth it. You have to make that decision. But you can only make a decision. This is why I say never let emotion have a seat at the table. If you make the decision, right, that you're going to put up with this, that means you got to put up with it, or at least put up with it until you decide it's too much. And when you decide that it's too much, when you ultimately get to the point where you decide that it's too much, right, you get to change your mind. Understand that. You could put up with this for 10 years and then go 10 years and go, yeah, I'm done with this. This is just too much. This takes away too much from me. You can go 6 weeks. Somebody said it's $40 to get your dad blown. Y'all stupid.
Yeah, you made a great point. You made a great point on that. You know what I mean? But I just like to see things for face value. And people can be like, oh, I'm a nice person, but then turn around and do something that's not nice. So I think I wanted to see myself.
I don't listen.
Maybe she just had a bad day.
Hold on, stop the presses. Xavier Corina sent me $5. Thank you for the Cash App. Thank you. Wait, where's my fucking? Oh, not that. There it is. There's my air horn. Shout out to Xavier Corina for sending me $5. Holy shit! I'm gonna buy a new house. Thank you, Xavier. Send me some money, people. But yeah, I'm just saying you have to be honest with this. You got to be honest with the fact that we our word has to mean something. And if you say that this is what you want to put up, I'm not saying you can't change your mind either. Understand that. I'm not saying that just because you said this, you said that you want to be, that you could go, you're allowed to go, yo, I don't want to do this. I want to do this no more.
Mm-hmm.
That's perfectly okay. Somebody said, don't spend $40 all at once. Y'all are clowns.
All right, Dante. Well, thank you very much, brother.
All right, but so just make a decision about what you want to do and then make the decision. You feel me?
I got you.
All right, brother. Thank you for calling, bro. Later.
Later.
me open those phones up. Man, somebody in the comments last I had a problem with the phones last Sunday. Somebody said, "You need to get your shit together." I was like, God damn. Y'all trying to get your full dose of man school. You like, yo, you messing up my life. Get your shit together. Funny, y'all are funny, man. I love y'all motherfuckers for real. Yeah, you can't nah, you didn't go too far, dog. You gotta understand, man, this is why honesty is important. It's not just important for you to be honest with other people, but it's also important for you to be honest with yourself. If this is what you're signing up for, know what it is. Somebody asked me what's the signs and symbols of bipolar. I know it's sort of like change of personality, but I mean, this is something I want y'all to be
To
a lot
accept,
more
press 1. To send a
intellectually
voicemail,
curious.
press
If
2.
it's something you don't know, Google it. Tell me. Teach me something. What's up? What's your name? Where you calling from, family?
Brandon from North Carolina.
What's going on, Brandon? How can I help you, brother?
Look, man, I've been keeping up with you for a couple years now, and I've been following everything you've been saying. I broke up with a girl about a year ago.
Okay.
I've been knocking a couple chicks out from then, but I still think about this chick, and I don't know why. And I just kind of
okay. Let me ask you this: why'd you break up with her?
Pretty much what you said. She was crazy. I ain't gonna say crazy, but it's just I took what I could take until I couldn't take it no more, and then I got.
Okay, so here's what happens. Here's what happens a lot of times when we break up. How old are you, Brandon?
31.
All right, so you're not a kid, but you ain't an old man either. So let me explain to you something. What happens to us? And this is not just you specifically. This is not a problem that's specific to you, but this is a problem with Dante. You got to fix you can stink because it's strenuous trying to hit him. I can turn him up, man. Yeah. Some of them don't have the greatest what do you call it, connection. What I'm saying is what happens is common to everybody is we get into a situation, we hang out. How long did you hang out with this chick? How long did you date her?
4 years.
All right, so 4 years is not let's be honest. 4 years, you lost your virgin. How old were you when you lost your virginity?
18.
18. So 18 to 31. Let's say you had 10 years of actual dating as a even as a young adult, right? 4 of those, 4 of that, that's 40% of your dating life was with this woman, right? I'm assuming y'all was having sex, y'all was hanging out with each other, laying up in the bed, just doing things together, right? There's no way that you could do something for 4 years and not be attached to it, right?
Yeah.
So is it unreasonable for you to still have some feelings for somebody that you invested 4 years of your life? Not only that, let's look at this. I mean, people don't, I'm a big science person. Do you know that human beings we're mammals, and certain mammals, they pair bond, they connect with each other. You get to the point where you know her smell, you know her taste. When you make love to her, you know what her insides feels like. This goes on for 4 years, right? And then all of a sudden it feels normal, right? First there's the excitement, and then it feels normal, and then it becomes routine, and then all of a sudden you that ends and you kind of move on, right? You can see how that would be difficult to shake, right? And then what happens is when you break up, what you do is you remember the best parts, but you forget how crazy it was when you were dealing with the situation, right? So it's very.
Nah, that's the reason I haven't gone back, Dante.
I get you.
I think about all that crazy shit.
Yes, but you also what you're still thinking about is the good parts, right? That's what keeps you man, I keep thinking about this chick, blah, 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 blah. Now, if you're saying you just think about her because she spent a major portion of your life with her, that's fine. But if you're opining about her in the way that you're opining about her, that's a different, I think that's a different situation altogether. Make sense?
Yeah.
And so you're gonna have these feelings, but listen, the point is we very rarely live vividly are thinking about the stuff that makes the reasons why why we broke up in the first place. Now, here's a great technique to fix this. When you get off the phone with me or when you get a time, get you one of them yellow legal pads, right? And write down all the crazy shit that happened. The instance, list them 1 to 10, right? And remember those things because that is the thing because here's the thing. People will romanticize about what was instead of what is. When the analogy I use is that when you buy a house based on what the house was appraised at this moment, right?
Yeah.
You cannot buy the house on what it was worth 10 years ago, and you're not going to pay what it's going to be worth 10 years in the future, right? So we have to assess what our opinion is on something in that moment, right? And the reason why, it's because if you went back with her, right? And I'm not saying that's your thought, but if you went back with her, it would be a couple of hours before you would realize, oh yeah, now I remember why I left this crazy bitch. Do you understand? And so, but you gotta, a lot of times your brain is can't really tell the difference between reality and fiction. And so, I mean, that's why a lot of guys who watch an excessive porn have a problem dealing with real women in a real place because there's no such thing as a back of the balls camera. There's in real sex, there's no close up under the glass table. You know what I mean? There's no cut to her mouth, back to her asshole. Like, we don't have that. And so what happens when we watch porn, you have these jump cuts that are creating an unrealistic idea of what sex is. And then when we're having sex with a real woman in real time, it's not as exciting. So take a little time, write down all of the things, all the crazy shit she said to you, all the disrespectful shit she said, all the times that you was like, you thought, man, I might have to break up with her. Write a list down. And anytime you have that feeling, pull that list out and read it. I'm going to tell you what I did. There was a girl I was really strung out on, a girl I was dating in college, right? And I did what I'm telling you to do. But then what I did was, I took a computer, I typed it up, I put it in I shrunk it down to the font size was like 2, right? I made a little like driver's license size card, right? And I laminated it and put it in my wallet. Okay. And every time I had some feelings like that, I pull it out and I go, oh yeah. I remember when she told me my mama wasn't shit. I remember when she told me she was gonna fuck my brother. You know what I'm saying? This is the kind of you know what I'm saying? And then it brings it back into the reality because we start to romanticize this with time and time and space, and we move away from it, and then we romanticize the good stuff and we don't remember the bad stuff. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Great little technique,
man, I've been
right?
Rocking with you for years. And I appreciate you so much.
All right, brother. I appreciate you too. Send me some money.
Yes, sir.
It's these little, it's weird because these little techniques that I've learned through life. And that's what's interesting is a lot of times I get people who don't get it. Like they don't get like I was you. Like if you listen to the song, it says I was you before you was you. I've gone through this. I've opined over some crazy chick that treated me like trash. I have broken up with people. I have gotten back with them and forgot who they were in the first place. I've done all of those things and more. Everything that you've done, I've done it, and multiple times, made the same mistakes. My idea for you is just to be in a situation where I can give you the guidance so that you don't make these mistakes again, because I've already made them. My goofy ass older sister, she's dumb as a rock. And she used to say, everybody got to make their own mistakes. That's not true. That's not true. You don't have to make the same mistakes over and over again, because the other people can give you, hold up, the cash app, hold on. Shout out to Brandon Rollins. Sent me $20 in the cash app, $20 in the cash app. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you putting your money where your mouth is. Let me get this call. Thank you, Brandon. I appreciate you.
Call from.
And I'm sorry, that cut off. Y'all gotta call back. Call back. I was trying to get through. I think I screwed up. Yeah, you gotta. I made those mistakes, man. I made those mistakes over and over again. I made them so you don't have to make your own mistakes over and over again. If that was the case, every time you wanted to do algebra, you would have to invent it. You don't have to invent it. You can just ask somebody to teach it to you. So you don't have to make it. Can you imagine if every time you wanted to do math, you had to figure out a new formula to figure out how many tiles you got to put in your kitchen? You know what I'm saying? It's area times length. I might add this, so just in case you didn't know that. But you don't have to make the same mistakes over and over again. You don't have to. You can learn from other people, and don't get me wrong. I still think you need to test. You need to test. You have to test. I mean, you shouldn't just take my word for it either. You should test and see if logically what I'm saying is actually true. Robert Spindletree says, does Dante still opine over women? I mean, there's things that I remember, but I mean, I don't really opine over nobody, because I honestly feel like anybody that I've spent time and energy with, I have done their life better than they've done mine. And I don't care who that is. I don't care who hears it or who didn't hear it. Or I have done more for anybody that's a friend of me. I've been a better friend to people than they've been to me.
To send a voicemail,
99% of the time. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, how you doing, Dante? My name's Andrew, calling from Los Angeles.
What's up, Andrew? How can I help you, brother?
Look, man, I got a whole situation now. I'm trying to see if I could make a older relationship I just got out of work again. So so me and my girl, we're together for 6 years, and we had broke up earlier this year. It was getting toxic. It was getting to a point she started like getting insecure about certain shit, and I was at a point where I wasn't trying to deal with that. You know, I'm dealing with college and stuff like that. So it was my last semester before I graduated. So I was locked in with stuff. So I kind of like dismissed all that, and we ended up breaking up. And then, we tried to rekindle it about like 5 months ago. And then there was this whole situation where we were hanging out with her family, and then her sister said some BS that I tried to like get at her and things like that. And my ex-girl, she took that as that's like some betrayal type thing.
Did you try to get at her?
Nah, and that's the thing. Like, I told her, like, you know what? Like, I'm here trying to like rekindle what we got. I don't got time for all that. You know what I mean?
And what did she say? What did she say?
To her, it was more like, that's my sister, that's my family.
Okay, let me ask you this. What kind of? I mean, you knew her before. Was this out of character for her sister, or because nobody does that out of the blue, says, oh, he was trying to get at me? Like, did you not know her first and try to get her early on? Was there any truth at all to what she was saying, even if it wasn't what she deemed it to be?
And that's exactly my point that I brought up to her. I'm like, man, I know your whole family, like, since we started dating. I know your whole family for years.
Yeah, but I'm answer the question. Was there anything that could have been misconstrued? If you think back.
I'll say this. Her sister was going through a whole phase at the time because she got out of a relationship. She's trying to hold around. She said it clearly. And, you know, I was drinking with her and her sister.
Okay,
with my
here we
ex
go.
And her sister.
Here we go.
And she might have misinterpreted certain things.
Okay,
like,
no. Stop. Okay. Now, I need you to be, if you want real answers, I need you to be real honest. Okay?
Yeah.
So I'm not going to do this. I was drinking horse shit. She was going through the whole phase. All of that adds up to I did something that might have been inappropriate. Now, you going to own up to that, or you going to give me some bullshit?
Nah, man, I'm not giving no BS. I'm telling you, like, I've never seen her in that way. That's like my sister.
But why did you prerequisite that as I was drinking and she was going through a whole phase?
Because she might have misinterpreted conversations that we all had as a group.
What conversation would she have misinterpreted? Because you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, I definitely get what you're saying. I understand where you're coming from. At the moment, I guess we were all having conversations about just sex in general and things like that. But it wasn't just me and her sister talking. It was my ex-girl there too. And I wasn't speaking directly to her.
Okay, but here's what I'm saying. You know that if your girl was there in that moment, yeah, even if or let's say she's not there, and her sister went back and told her what the conversation was, whether or not the other girl was there, you understand how she would not be okay with that, right?
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah,
okay,
I can see that.
So here's what you got to do. Here's what you do. This is a really, and first of all, you're being dishonest, not about what happened, but you're being dishonest as if you don't already know. So what I'm saying to you is, I'm this is the first time I'm ever talking to you, right? Yeah. You're telling me this story. I ask you, is there anything you said she misconstrued? I go, well, what would she have misconstrued? Well, she was going through a whole phase. I was drinking while we was talking about sex. And in what scenario would you be talking to some chick that you are dating to her sister about sex and it would be appropriate?
I see what you're saying, man. I see what you're saying.
No, I need you to answer the question. When is that appropriate? Especially if your girl...
It should have never happened, man. It should have never happened.
Okay. So here's on a real base level, whatever you're trying to fix this, right? You have to stop denying what you know is the issue in the first place. You'd be surprised how much people will forgive if you're being honest, right?
Yeah.
But you denying it because you don't want to own up, which in the context, if you listen to my content, I'm talking about credibility all the time. So credibility is not just doing what you say, but it's also owning up to who you are. And you got to, just like I talk about truth, you got to be truthful about yourself. And so just through a few questions that I asked you, the whole story comes out, right? Now, I'm not saying you tried to hit on her. I'm not saying we won't know that, but we know that there were things that was inappropriate, right?
Yeah.
Then you have to have a conversation about that. But you got to also, and then say, but I'm trying to work on us. And if you're not down for this is true. I was afraid that you would misinterpret it. It wasn't really like that. That's not where my head was, but I was afraid. And so I misrepresented, and I'm wrong for that. And I can't expect you to trust me if I'm not being trustworthy. So this is what happened. And you tell the story. And then you go, look, I'm trying to be about you and us. Right. But, and if you're not willing to do that, I totally get it. If this is too much water under the bridge for us to kind of repair, or things are too broken because of something that was misunderstood, that such and such and such, but my intention is to be with you and to rekindle what we got. And if you're not with that, I totally get it. You have every right to do that. But I just want to know, so I know whether I need to move on and find somebody who wants to build something with me. And if she says no, if she goes, I don't want to, you don't have there's no decision to be made. She's making the decision for you. You feel me?
Okay, there's one last scenario too. So let's say, like, we already had this conversation. She told me she can't get back with me because all that shit was weird that happened, and she kind of just doesn't want to like get back with me.
Okay.
Because she doesn't want to make her sister uncomfortable.
Okay.
But then she calls me late at night sometimes, like at 1 a.m., 2 a.m. to come over.
Stop taking
to go have sex and stuff like that.
Are y'all having sex or no?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
but
then
when it comes down to the conversation of like whether we can rekindle it, she said the only way.
So let me ask you something. The only way what? What'd she say?
The only way we could rekindle would be in a scenario where we kind of just run away from everybody and everything.
That's ridiculous. It's not.
I'm not trying to do all that.
Okay, so listen. I think you could have you could also tell her, you could also, something that might reinforce that as well is that you could tell her that you're going to have a conversation with her sister and say, this was something, don't go, remember you was being a hoe, but in no situation that was I trying to hit on you in that situation. And if it was misinterpreted, I apologize. I'm in love with your sister and I'm trying to be a good man to your sister. And I wanna, do you have a problem with that? See, because if the sister has no problem with it, if the whole sister has no problem with it, then your girl has no problem with it, you know?
Yeah.
So you can confront that, but if she's funky style and she don't want to listen to you and you can't just go have this conversation. You got to have the conversation with your girl and tell her that you're going to have a conversation with her sister.
Okay.
And then you have that conversation. It still might end up for shit. Right?
Yeah.
But then you don't have to feel funny, weird about none of it, because then you have done everything in your power to resolve this so that you can move further. And then what happens is after that, you got to stop sleeping with her. You either got to be okay with the fact which the parameters that she's talking about, right?
Yeah.
Now, does she know that you're dating other people, or are you dating other people?
Yeah, I'm dating. I date other women.
And she don't have. Is she aware of that?
To her, it's like she's doing the same thing. She's doing the same thing. Like she's talking to dudes. She lets dudes take her out on dates and things like that. But I mean, like, that's not my girl right now, so I'm not really.
That's not what I'm questioning. I'm not questioning what your point is. I don't need even you. I mean, even if it was your girl and you don't have no problem going, your girl going out, that's none of my business. What I am saying though is this: if she's aware that you're going out and this is where she wants, then you can only. Here's my thing: you can only make the decision that's before you, right? So if you talk to her sister, and her sister gives her the okay, and she still don't want to step up, right? Then there's you can't make a decision that's not there. It's not available to you. She's going no go is no go. So then the next system is, do I still want to smash or should I not smash? Like for me, if this is what I want, I wouldn't. I would be like, all right, cool. We'll smash until I find a girlfriend that I like better than you, and then I'll move on. And then she's gonna be effed up when it's all said and done when you move on, right? Or you can say, you know what, I want something more substantial. And what you're giving me just smash. I don't even want to do that no more, which will also make her lose her mind. And this is all like if I was disingenuous, I would tell you that those are ways to get her to change her mind. But I don't think that you should force her to change her mind. What you ultimately want her to do is make the decision for herself. Because if you con her into changing her mind, it's always going to go back to the same old bullshit before. Here's the other thing. How old are you?
I'm 23. She's 24.
Okay, stop. What the fuck are you doing? You're 23 years old. So you get this chick back and this is going to be the only chick that you're going to date for the rest of your life? That's what you want to tell me? You're not going I'm 58, right?
Yeah.
I've been with literally thousands. I'm not exaggerating. You know, when you say what your body count, I've been with thousands of women. You think that this chick is going to be the only chick for you for the rest of your life? This is the one that you're going to marry and never sleep with nobody else? Is that really? You're bugging. The fact that you, and I tell guys all the time, never ask the girl for a relationship. I have never met a woman who wants something for a man who is inarticulate or nonverbal about what she wants if she thinks she can get it. Now, if she doesn't want to deal with the rejection for asking for something that she knows that you already don't want, right? She may hesitate. But if a woman wants something, she gonna tell you. If you smashing a chick and the sex is good and the relationship is good, how many times you gonna smash her before she goes, "What are we doing? I mean, what is this? What do I call you? Are you my girl? Are you my man? I don't know what to say when people ask me, what do you mean? Yeah. That's never a situation. So when some chick is not asking you for the relationship, don't ask. She don't want it.
Okay.
She don't want it. If she's not asking you to be her girl, you to be her man, she don't want it.
All right.
Now, if you want to maintain this chick on the roster and keep her in rotation until you find somebody who's worth your time, that's fine. But you have to be emotionally ready to deal with that.
Okay.
But you gotta kind of take a little time, meditate, like my man was saying, meditate and decide what you're okay with. Then make your decision and be okay with your decision. You feel me?
Yeah, I appreciate that.
But you're 23 years old, dog. Are you bugging? Are you like? I don't even know if you have the emotional maturity to say, "Yo, this is gonna be the girl I marry. I'm gonna have kids." Yeah, dog. Grow up first. Put some, get some hair on your balls first, and have some experiences before you start. This is the only one ever. I'm gonna tell you honestly, you don't even know who this chick is. She could have changed in the time that y'all broke up.
No, she definitely has. Yeah, I can see that.
So you need to stop, get to know who she is, because you might not even like what you see. You feel me?
Yeah.
Take your time. Stop rushing. It's time.
All right.
I'm 58. I'm 58. There's no cutting off of my fuck game at 58. So you're 23. So that's what? You got another 28 years, something like that. Whatever. I'm not good at math, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay. Calm down. It's all right. But if you wanna pursue that, that's how you do it. You remove the obstacle. If the sister is the obstacle, you tell her you're gonna have a conversation with her. You have a conversation. But honestly, I don't even think you should do that, because if she's not going, I want to be with you. I want you to be my man. Look, if she wants it bad enough, she won't care about the sister. Trust me. Let's say she was into Drake, right? And her sister fucked Drake, and then Drake came around and tried to fuck her. You think she wouldn't fuck Drake?
Nah, she fuck Drake, man.
So, do you understand? I mean, Drake's maybe not the best. At this point in time, he may not be the best example, but you get my point, Yeah. Okay?
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, family. Easy. I think we have to understand there's right, and then there's righteousness, and then there's realisticness. What's the chance of somebody 23 years old finding his soulmate? Man, I mean, it's crazy to me when I hear people go, yo, I married my high school sweetheart. I'm like, there was other people, right? There was other people in another high school. But you saw the 100 people the maybe not even 100 because half of them you didn't even consider options. You met 12 people and you was like, oh, out of this is the one. This guy's the one. It's like, come on, stop. You're 23. You did get hard when the wind blows. Stop. You ready to make a life commitment? Come on, dog. That's not even reasonable. It's not even reasonable. So, but anyway, phone line's open. Let me read Simply Deep's. And Dara Green in the hold up, stop the madness. And Dara Green sent me $25. Thank you, baby. I appreciate you. Where's my gunshots? I don't know where my gunshots. I gotta figure that out. All right, that's good enough. Thank you, Indira. You're the best, sweetheart. I appreciate you. You always in the comments too. Simply Deep. Let me ask me a question online until we get a call. Let's see. Come up. Here it is. Hypothetical question: how to respond to getting enticed into something naughty by your lady alone at an era other than your house where no one is around. If you want to answer that, y'all answer it. Deep, here's what you got to understand. You have to decide what you're comfortable at. You have to decide what your sexuality is and what you're comfortable with, and understand what your non-negotiables are, and then never negotiate them. It might be awesome if you care about somebody and you trust somebody to do something, a little sexual or something a little freaky that keeps the dice rolling. It is what it is. But if you're not comfortable with it and you want a traditional kind of, vanilla, bland thing, then that's okay too. I mean, me personally, I'm probably gonna eat your booty. That's just me. No disrespect, but I'm just a eat your booty kind of dude. Anyway, do I think that the doobie says, do I ever think I'm putting the lessons in a book? Yes, I'm actually working on that right now. Not nearly as diligent as I should be. But I am working on it right now. I'm working on the book. About the non-transactional. Robin Spindle, she says, damn, this is the whole story, and then Dante gave no, that's not it. About the non-lethal flat fist. Says about the non-transactional interaction thing. Does flirting, hold on, let's see. Does flirting or asking out count as transactional? It absolutely is transactional. The first step of laying the 5 bricks is just giving a compliment. You're giving a compliment, which is just an acknowledgement of something beautiful or something that you want to point out, and then and you're not looking for anything in return. You're not even looking. Understand something, because I've talked to I forget my dog Paul out in Australia. I had to tell him, I said, you shouldn't even be looking for the response, not even the thank you. You need to be in a place where you can admire something and declare what's something that's beautiful without looking for a response. If you're looking for a response, then it's transactional, because the response itself is transactional. Is what makes it transactional, So if you're looking for something, you're just supposed to pay the compliment and keep it moving. If somebody says thank you or they say no thank you, if they're if they say thank you, fine. If they don't, you've stated something that you find is attractive and you move on. So that's what makes it transactional or not. Let's see. Anything else in the comments? Because we are 1:30 in, y'all. I'm getting ready to shut this down. Somebody said eat the booty. I don't even know. I don't even know that. Just in the comments it says eat the booty. It's not. There's no context. It's just eat the booty. It's not even an exclamation mark. It's just like eat the booty. It's just real relaxed. So, anyway, you're welcome, Lethal Fist. I appreciate it. Let's see who's on TikTok. Yes, I've been around. So I go around St. John's. Not anymore, man. I sold the house and I don't really go around. It's a point of contention for me because I really miss that house and I grew up in there, and it's Chris just said carry a pack of baby wipes. That's if you don't like a little seasoning on the meat. Shut up. Stop telling me what to do. We got the last call. Hold on. Let's bring this in. Somebody said, Steve said the booty hole only has one job. I could probably. I disagree with that 100%. Yo, Orlando, what's going on? Where you calling from?
Yo, what's up, Dante? Solano.
What's going on, Solano? What's going on?
What's up, man? I want to ask you, I was wondering if you have any stories about, you approaching women in public transportation when you're on the metro.
I mean, look, you're asking me to go in the archive, and in order for me to go in the archive, I would say this. I don't dwell on it because the only time you dwell on these stories is if they're exceptional, something exceptional happened. But I remember. Oh gosh.
Wait, what do you mean when you say exceptional?
I mean, So, for instance, I've had a lot of street fights in my life, right? And
yeah,
I'll give you an example. This is not going to be a sex story, but the one I was going to tell was I don't think I want to tell it. But anyway, I've had a lot of street fights, and I remember I was dating this young lady, and we were out on the first date. Dominican chick. She didn't speak a lot of English, and a guy said something to her, right? Something disrespectful. Now, I'm not advocating this, and I'm not advocating the violence or anything, but so I grabbed the dude by the throat. I slammed him against the corrugated gates. I was right on Bleecker Street, and I smacked the dude in the face. Like, yo, who the fuck are you talking to, right? And the guy said, man, I'm sorry. And I let him go, and we went. This was our first date, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was dating this girl for I dated her for a year or so, at least a year and some change, probably a couple of years, maybe. And her daughter grew up. I watched her daughter grow up. Her daughter finally got to the age where she had a boyfriend, right? And her daughter was coming home with her boyfriend, her little, primary school, elementary school boyfriend. And this guy who was kind of a bully, I guess, in the school came up and said to her, you not with him, you with me right now. Grabbed her by the hand and walked her away. And she was looking at the guy, the boyfriend, this young kid, as like, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna just let him do this? And the kid was scared, right? And so later on, she said to the kid, the guy came up here and he just grabbed my hand and pulled me away from you, and you didn't do anything. And he said, as the kid was like 13, 14, he goes, I thought you knew her, right? Which it didn't. He didn't think he knew her. He just was afraid, and he wasn't a physical kid, right? And so his mom.
You said, I thought you knew him?
The little girl, her daughter, my girl's little daughter, said, you didn't do nothing. And the kid said, I thought you knew him.
Okay.
Right? So it was just, it was basically young kids and him copping out, right?
Yeah.
So now this is 2 years later, right? She goes, the first time I went on a date with Dante, this guy said something to me disrespectful. He slammed the dude against the gates and smacked the dude in the mouth, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she goes, Dante, you remember that? And I honestly didn't remember. I could not in my mind come up with a memory of me smacking this dude in the face or whatever, right? But to her, it was so significant to her, right? Because it was like this was our first date. This was her first impression of me. This is a guy who is gonna protect me, right? But I didn't knock the dude out. We didn't ensue in a fight. There was no, you know what I'm saying? It was the dude got choked and smacked him and I kept it moving. Now, I have probably done that so many times that it's not a story, right? The only reason why this makes the level of having a story is because the story is more about her bringing this up, right? To me, bringing it up to me, and then going, you don't remember this? And I said, no, I don't remember. And she goes, Dante, you don't remember choking a dude and smacking a dude in the face on the street. And I was like, I don't remember that happening. Because she was trying to show tell her daughter, you got to get a guy who's got your back. Basically, she was making that point, right?
Yeah.
So, here's my point. My point is that it wasn't a story for me because it was just kind of how I rocked at the time, right? It wasn't special. It wasn't a special moment. I probably have done that several times before. And anybody that I'm with that, you know, the girl is going to be disrespected, is going to have a problem with me where they're going to have to contend with me. And so it wasn't but to her, it was story. And to most guys, right, they would be telling that story every day, right? Yo, I remember, you know, anybody that you know that got stories, right? Or even people who just lie about stories. Yo, I remember this guy said something to my girl, I smacked him, blah, blah, blah. It's not even that big a thing, right? To me, it's not a big thing because most guys who talk shit, they full of shit. And 95% of the guys who talk shit, especially ones that talk on the internet, are full of shit. Everybody's yapping. Nobody really is about their business. The same way nobody is really authentic. The same way nobody's really credible. The same way nobody's really empathetic. None of those things matter to people in general. So when people are talking shit or they're taking advantage, they're doing that with the hope and fact that they're not going to be held accountable for what they do. And that, again, it's weird because, you know, as I'm talking about this, I'm thinking to myself, wow, even Ace comes into play even when even when I don't think it comes into. So the reason why I didn't have any real fear, and even if I did have fear, it didn't matter because this dude was disrespectful. He was disrespectful, and because he was disrespectful, I was going to check him, and that was the end. That was all of the thought that I gave it. And so for me, it was commonplace for this dude to be disrespectful and catch a smack in the mouth, right?
Yeah.
But to her, it said so much to her about me and how I saw her and the way that I just wouldn't let somebody do some crazy shit and not check a motherfucker. You understand?
Yep.
So what I'm saying is when you ask me, you know, tell me a story about picking a girl up on the subway. How many times has that happened when I was on the subway and scooped somebody up and whatever? It's just not a story. Do you feel what I'm saying? To me, it's not a story because it's just what I do. You know what I mean? Or it's what I have done. And even in that situation, to hold that story, it has to have some kind of relevancy or some kind of importance to me. And me telling a story about somebody who I laid a brick to and scooped up and got the number and smashed, it's just not a story. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just the norm of things. And so I don't really, what makes that a story is the fact that I didn't remember that I smacked the dude in my face. I don't know if you've ever smacked. Oh, you know what? Here's a great thing, Selena, because we talk all the time. I remember you and I had a consultation, right? And there was a guy who was trying to play you. He liked this girl that you liked. You remember this? And the guy wouldn't call you by your name. Remember?
Yeah.
And the guy and you were having problems with this because you could tell that this dude was trying to be disrespectful by not calling you name. He was calling you, I think, Cellini or some weird version of that, being disrespectful. And I said to you, part of you, this had nothing to do with girls in the sense, but I said you have to respect yourself on every level. So if this guy is talking to you out of your name, I think I said to you, you tell this motherfucker either call me by my name or don't call me, or just don't speak to me no more. Stay the fuck away from me. And he was like, oh, you acting all crazy, you getting all upset. I go, I don't care what you think about my sensitivity. Here's what you do. Call me by my name, otherwise we're going to have a problem. You remember that?
Yeah, yes.
Do you remember we were on the phone together because we were doing a consultation when this happened, right?
Yeah.
And you checked the dude, and you remember how you were so excited because, like, you were elated because you stood up for yourself, right? But the adrenaline was pumping. I remember you talking to me, man. I'm breathing hard. I'm this and that. So, but it just felt so good for you to stand up for yourself, right?
Yeah. I remember I thought about going back and apologizing. Like, no.
No, this guy was right. This guy was disrespectful. You checked him. He backed off. I think he apologized or something, or he said okay, or he conceded, and then you was like felt bad. But initially, you felt empowered because you didn't let somebody take advantage of you, and just for you to know that you thought enough of yourself to stand up for yourself was so important to you and so life changing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That it changed your life, right? And ever since then, anytime somebody has called you out of your name or done some slick shit, you check them, right?
Yes.
Now, if that happened tomorrow and you check the motherfucker and he said, "Oh, I'm sorry, my bad," it wouldn't be a story, right?
Nah.
But the first time, it was a story. You feel me? Hold up. DeAndre R.A. sent me $10 on the Cash App. Thank you. Send me some money. I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate y'all so much supporting me, man. So what I'm saying, I guess that's what I'm saying. What you're asking me is a story about something that has happened so frequently to me, it's not a story. If it doesn't stand out to me, as something that's extraordinary, it's just not a story to me, you know?
Yeah.
And so that's why
the reason I asked is because, I know last time I called in, I was talking real scary and I just had a lot of fear in my voice, but I know I just need to get outside and lay the bricks. The first time I was in London, every time, I didn't do it as often as I should, but every time I laid a brick, every time I got a girl's number.
Yeah.
Every time.
And I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something interesting. London is not as pretentious as America, especially not New York, because you could get chicks are they're on guard when it comes to New York City and stuff like that, or Jersey, or where they're not friendly. But in England, if you're kind to people and you speak to them, they will speak back. It's just the culture is different. So the fact that you're nervous about a culture of people who allows them, who being polite and not being crass is part of their culture, right? Even when they're racist in England, they are politely racist. Like it's just like they do with a pinky up. So you know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying it's just, it's just not a thought. Okay. So now thank you, brother. Thanks for calling in, man. How you doing? You good?
I'm better now. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, brother. Good to hear from you.
All right. Same here.
Let me just go. Anthony Drossos. He says, so if your gal gets slick seeing you fight, is that going to be a regular expectation for her? Dog, I don't care what her regular expectation is. If she's correct in that assumption, that's fine. And if she's not correct in that assumption, I don't care. I'm just going. You got to live your life not with the intention on what people are gonna say or how they feel about it. You have to have your own moral compass. You got to. You have to put it through your that equation to find out what is best for you, and you do that and you move on. And if somebody's not going to be on the same page as you, then they just not for you, dog. But you contorting and trying to be something that you're not, all it ever does is put you in a situation where you're contorted and you're not being who you are. And eventually you're going to spring back to who you were in the first place, and it's going to be a problem. Yo, real quick, let me, let's see. Let me put the banners up, y'all. Don't forget, let me see. Please. I would really like to get some equipment so that the phone lines are better, get some new equipment. So if y'all can support us on patreon.com/manschool202. That's the Patreon. It's kind of the foundation that keeps me doing this. Or you can just make a donation at the Cash App at $ Dante Nero or PayPal at Modest Guru Inc. The Patreon is it's a tier situation subscription. You get an extra bonus. You get a bonus episode. And me and Harry do that, and you get access to me with emails and stuff through the app. Also, if you need a one-on-one session, go to DanteNero.com, click on consult if you need a one-on-one session. Please don't forget to like, share, and comment. It's really important. It really helps the if you like what we do, please make an effort to do that. It really helps me out, helps me keep it. And if you can, if it's in the kindness of your heart, if you could do that and hit the bell sign so that I know, so that anytime I go live, you get a notification that is the case. Thank y'all so much, man. I love y'all so much, man. I appreciate the support, and shout out to all the people that Indira and Xavier and who else we get? And all the folks. God damn, my phone's dead. But all the people that look out, sign up, and all kinds of stuff. I appreciate y'all so much. GYBB gets your balls back. WWDD. What would Dante do? The sexual revolution is being podcasted. Y'all love y'all, man. Peace. We out of here.